Hi guys, how are we all doing today? Emma here from Yellow Brick Roads, helping you build your confidence whilst I'm building my own. So I've got some notes in front of me. I wanted to come on and do a video today because I've had quite a few people message me this last week actually, since doing the introduction video I did last week about what it was that I did to change things in my life and to get me to where it is that I am today. And it was lovely to hear it actually, because they sort of were very vulnerable in what they had to say. And it reminded me of where I was at before I made some big changes in my life. So I just wanted to talk through sort of 3 steps that I took to make big changes in my life, to better my life, in the hope that that will add value to you guys, if there is anybody out there that is looking to make the change. So I can certainly relate to that feeling of Groundhog Day. I know for me, when I look back, I was at a place where I was feeling that I was going over the same day every single day. It was like I was doing the same things every single day, and I didn't seem to be getting to where it was that I wanted to go. So I had a chat with myself and I said, right, okay, what is the first step? And I went online and I started looking at people that had done the things that I wanted to do and achieved the things that I wanted to achieve, and had a look at how did they go about doing it. And I know for sure that the first step is actually becoming aware of that. So without even realizing it, I was actually making that first step. I think you have to become aware of where you're at today, and sort of look at what it is that's holding you back and getting you to where it is that you want to go. So yeah, what is it that you're looking to change? It may be that you're in a relationship. Hi Kelly. It may be that you're in a relationship that you don't want to be in. It may be that you're in a job that you don't want to be in. It may be that you want to relocate. You know, it may be that you want to, I don't know, move abroad, whatever it is that you want to do. You need to become aware of your current situation. Now, I know there's certain things that happen in our life that are completely out of our control. And, you know, there's some things like ill health of yourself or of a loved one that you can't do anything about. And actually a big lesson learned from a friend of mine who actually passed away, one of my best friends passed away last year. And I've learned so much from her, you know, in her last months, but even more so since, because it made me really think about becoming aware. So she got very sick very quickly, but she became aware of her own reality in that and took action herself, which, you know, is amazing when I think of, you know, what she must have been going through her head. But she took action and she decided, actually, this is what I want to do and this is how I want to see out the remaining months of my life. And she did the things that as much as she could, she did the things that she wanted to do in those last few months of her life. And I think it's a lesson to me in telling me, don't let something like that, don't let me get to a point like that in my life where I then make a decision, actually, where is it that I want to go? You every single day you can make decisions, you can decide what it is that you want. You just need to be aware of it. So don't ever get to that place where you leave it, you know, really late for, you know, to make that decision and to become aware of what it is that you actually want. So you wake up to what's holding you back, but you become aware of your current situation and you wake up to what's holding you back. And I always think it's great to write things down. I'm one for writing everything down. I carry a journal around with me like all the time, because I just think if I don't write it down, I will forget it. So you make a note of it and you write it down. Step 2, so the next step I took is I consciously decided what is it that I wanted. Now, I was never into sort of doing like visualization or anything like that really, but actually it makes a massive, massive difference. So I actually made a note of what it was that I wanted to do, where it was I wanted to go. I started to make a plan. For me, it was a case of, okay, I wanted to leave Essex. I wanted to move to the country. I wanted us to have more space. I wanted more time with my children. I wanted to get out of the rat race. I didn't want to feel like everything was going so quickly and life was passing me by, which is how it felt at the time. So there was different things that I wanted to change for myself and for my family. So I actually wrote it down. I made a note of it. Okay, what is it? What does it look like? Where I want to go, what does that look like? You know, I'd even cut pictures out of magazines of a house. We're going to go on to build a house, the sort of house that I wanted to build, the relationships that I wanted to develop. I know it sounds a bit ridiculous, but I really got down to the nitty gritty, and I made sort of detailed notes and even did a vision board of what it was that I wanted to achieve. And I kept looking at it every single day. And I made a plan. I made a plan of, okay, if that's where I want to go, how is it I'm going to get there? Now, it can be as simple as losing weight. You may say, okay, I'm 11 stone, I want to get to 10 stone. There's no good just saying it. You have to consciously be aware of the fact that you want to lose the weight, and then you put a plan in place. Be it you need to maybe look at your diet. So you start drinking more water every day, be it that you start exercising, you decide you're going to exercise twice a week or whatever. You put a plan in place to get you to where it is that you want to go. And yeah, you make sure you write it down. I think the other key thing as well, it's all well and good knowing where it is you're going, but you have to adopt the right characteristics to get you there. And this was one of the big things for me, because we always, for me anyway, and I don't know how I say we, but I'm talking about me, was focused on the things that I would get when I hit my result, when I got to that, you know, where I wanted to go. And what I mean by that is I was focused on the things as in the house. I was focused on the things that I could do with the children, as in the outdoors and all that kind of stuff. I was focused on the actual things that I would achieve or that I would get from making the relocation or starting up my business. I was focused on the new car or the new house or, you know, whatever, the new bloody shoes, I don't know. It's the things that I was focused on. But I think what we tend to forget is the person that you need to become to get there. And this has been a big eye-opener for me, because when you focus on the characteristics, it becomes such a... It's focusing on yourself rather than the things. The things are going to come and go regardless. And actually, even when you do get the things, you want something else. It's like, it's just the way it is. It's sometimes never enough. When you start focusing on the characteristics, it changes everything completely. So as much as you may want to lose that stone and you want to lose that weight, you don't just necessarily focus on losing the stone. You focus on the person that you need to become to actually lose the weight, if that makes sense, and I hope it does. So I put here, identity is an area where I never pay too much attention to, but it is so super important. So an example of that is, for those people that have asked, if you want to relocate, if you want to uproot your family and take them on a plane to Australia, you need to be thinking about that in your head, the certain characteristics you're going to need to adopt to get you there. Because at this moment in time, you haven't got those characteristics, otherwise you would be there and you're not. So it could be being more courageous. You may need to become more courageous, because you've got to really step outside your comfort zone. You've got to step outside where you are now to be able to get you to where it is that you want to go. So you need to adopt that characteristic. It may be you need to be committed. You need to make your plan, and you need to commit to your plan every single day. You need to take small steps every single day to get you to your move to Australia. It could be, a characteristic could be being able to make decisions, being really decisive and being able to make decisions and then acting on them. So there's all these different characteristics. I know a huge characteristic for me was being courageous, doing these live videos. I found when I started my business, this is an area where I resisted. I didn't do the lives because they can be daunting and you have to be really vulnerable and you're putting yourself out there. But actually, the areas where you resist are the areas where you're going to see the most growth. So anything you feel that you're resisting in life is actually the areas where you're going to grow the most, because they tend to be the areas that you're fearing the most. And actually, when you step into that fear, or another term, when you step outside of your comfort zone, you know, what feels nice and comfortable, when you step outside that, that's where you're going to grow the most. And that is one big lesson that I've learned over the last couple of years. So you need to consciously decide what it is that you want. And then lastly, it's all about practice. It's all about repetition. So you've got your plan in place and you practice it, you go over it, you keep going over it every single day, which can be the dull part. And that can be the part as well where you're going over it and you're not seeing any results and you're going, hold on a minute, I've been working this, or I've been trying to make these things happen and I'm not seeing results. But they do come. You just have to keep going. As soon as you stop and you give up, then there's no hope of you getting where you want to go. So you consciously practice your plan every single day. I want to make sure I've not missed anything. Yeah, so like I say, one of the biggest things for me was being courageous, and stepping outside my comfort zone and being able to put myself out there. When I have done, my business has grown because I've had a lot more engagement, especially via social media, which is, for my network marketing business that I'm in, resulted in more sales. So it is a case of really having to put yourself out there in the areas where you're resisting, because that's where you're more likely going to see the most growth. So just to recap, the first step, being aware of where you are today. The second step, deciding on where it is that you want to be and what you need to do to be able to get you there. And then the third step is practice. It is so simple. These steps are so simple. They're not easy things to do because they really make us, you know, having to sort of look inside ourselves, and we're having to become really vulnerable. But they are easy, and it's like anything. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. And yeah, you can get to wherever it is that you want to go. You just have to put the plan in place, and you have to practice your plan, and you need to be aware. You need to be aware of where it is you're at and where it is that you want to go. So I hope that has added value to some of you. If it has, please like and share this video. You can follow along on Instagram. The website is not up and running as of yet, but it will be soon. And I'll catch up with you all soon. Take care. Have a good day.